the mother of all meetings, the strategy development meeting. Brilliant display of consuming all the resources and making sure that status quo is maintained.
For these meetings, come early. 2 reasons for this. You need to find a seat where your computer is not obvious to everybody. Second, you need to ensure you have Wi-Fi, you have the password so that you're ready to browse the internet, play games.
Practice the active listening skills. Periodically, you should be seen as if you're listening.
That's important.
Often, you shouldn't be actually listening.
To relieve the boredom, get the ability to have strategic bathroom breaks. Always carry your phone with you and look worried when you go, look worried when you come back, as if you were attending to an important call.
Welcome, viewers, to another episode of the Jest Business Podcast, the corporate satire podcast, which you should definitely follow. Patty, I think for today's episode, although we have dealt with this topic earlier as well, but we have been doing all this fun and funny podcasts. You saw what I just did there? Fun and funny,
I love fur. I'm going to do one more. Fun, funny, and philanthropic.
How the hell does philanthropy come into our podcast?
Let me explain. Both you and I have hung up our boots and we are no longer in the corporate grind, correct?
Okay.
So we don't really need advice on how to handle business jargon, when to use it, when not, how to handle interview questions, certainly not. But we are giving this advice free of charge to our viewers. That is philanthropic. If not with money, with our ideas. So that's why we are fun, funny, and philanthropic. How do you like that?
Going by that definition, half of LinkedIn is philanthropic because there are people out there giving management lessons from everyday events like a kid having his ice cream and smiling, how it teaches them resilience, how it teaches them job satisfaction and so on and so forth.
What they learned when the toilet paper was missing after they finished the...
But one thing I do agree with you in terms of giving advice, we have been giving our viewers the JB Copes, which I don't think we've quite finished in the, especially in the session on meetings.
Yes.
So, because we didn't have time. So.
You're right, Rahul, because that day we covered 4 monstrous meetings, the regular weekly meeting, the business planning meeting, the planning for the business planning meeting, which was real fun. And then, of course, the pep talk morning briefing meeting. And therefore, at the end of it, we didn't have time to give more than the one cope. So today, why don't we do one thing? Let's take one meeting, run through it, and show another level of nonsense. And at the end of it, let's come to cope. So which meeting would you suggest? Just let's take one meeting.
I think we should take the mother of all meetings, the Thanos of timetables, the scourge of schedules.
Wow, what's that?
The oracle of outlook, the strategy development meeting. That's the meeting which shows outstanding, brilliant display of consuming all the resources and brilliant resourcefulness and making sure that status quo is maintained.
And it's all about wordsmithing and getting the words right. And by a set of people who really think that doing this adds value and then how you print it. I love it.
Value is one of the words that is also used heavily in that meeting.
Yes, in fact, value is used a lot. So let's do that.
I would think we do the same thing that we've been used quite a few times, which is... Role play. Absolutely. Yes. I think we need to create a scenario, right? So why don't we take a global company that sells, say, toilet paper in Asia?
A toilet paper around the world. I like that so much that I've, on the spot, thought of 2 names for the company and I allow you to choose. One is the Bottoms Up Company and the other one is Rear Comfort. What should we call our company?
Well, both are good, Perry. I'm not indifferent. I am an equal opportunity player. But in case you ask me to choose, I'm going to go with Rear Comfort.
Rear Comfort, okay.
And maybe use the other name as the name of the boss. Dirk van Bottoms Up.
Dirk van D. Bottoms Up. Lovely.
Regional CEO for Asia.
Regional CEO for Rear Comfort.
Patty, you can be that boss. And just like the product, be smooth and on the roll.
Okay. So shall we start with this?
Please.
So we are here for a strategy planning meeting, gentlemen. Thank you all for coming. I've asked you all to come to Bali, this beautiful resort, for 2 days so that we can spend time to get this right, our strategy. And time, however, should not be a constraint because I often say that to do it right, time should not be tight or light. So let's try to get this done in 2 days, because after all, we spent a lot of money to come here. But if it's not possible to finish, we should meet again. Pierre, you were saying something? You wanted to put up your hand?
Yeah, the idea is not bad, but what I would like to suggest is maybe next time we do small offsite in Kathmandu. Because the cold weather is quite helpful for coming up with lateral ideas. C'est difficile just in 2 days to come up with a strategy.
I like that. I like that, Pierre. Very, very out of the box thinking. So let's take a flip chart. Let's write down parking lot. Let's put this idea by Pierre. If you don't finish, do another offsite in Kathmandu.
Yeah.
And just put that. Yeah, right, Kathmandu. Thank you. Okay, that's a very good idea. So with that, I now hand over the floor to Brenda Chan, our VP of Communications, to tell us what this meeting is all about. Brenda.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Dirk. As Mr. Bottoms have explained, this is a strategy development meeting. So it's, we would need everyone's attention, everyone to be on the ball, because the next 2 days are some of the most important days. We're going to be focusing single-handed in the room, no phones, no Outlook, and focus on the coming up with the adaptation of the global mission statement for our market. So the first point on the agenda is start with the global vision and the mission statement, digest it, understand it, what it means for our stakeholders, and then discuss it by coming out with another market appropriate, cultural, customer specific mission statement that's adopted for our market. Okay, fine. So we come up with the global Asia strategy, and I would like to call it Glocal, which the global strategy, but we think local. Or actually, we can call it Glocal because...
we call it one of the two. Let's go on.
Okay, group. So anyways, what we want to say now, I will introduce Mary Dagswood. Mary Dagswood is the head of our Global Comms mission statement. She is one who has been dealt on this and had similar workshops in our head office and come up with this mission statement. So, Mary, as the head of movement, over to you.
Thank you, Brenda. First of all, everybody, it's so lovely to be in Asia, and even lovelier to be in this beautiful resort of Bali. So today here, I'm going to give you a 30,000 feet view of what we did from a global standpoint. So we started, our CEO, Frank Baldwin, was very keen that we develop a vision, mission, and strategy statement for our toilet paper, because he believes this product is very important. It's very close to people's hearts. So what we did is we took a 30-member team and we had a meeting. And we invited some important guests. We had 2 people from our communications agency, 2 people from our ad agency, and we had 3 of our paper suppliers, bulk suppliers, because
Mary,
Mr. Baldwin believes that bulk supplier input is critical. And then we hired a consultant who helped us to put this whole thing together. And today I'm going to share with you, Mr. Bottoms
No, I'm just saying, can you come to the point? So what does it mean for the adaptation of the global strategy?
One of the things I was going to say, it's so beautifully done. We're not sure adaptation is really required, because this is thought through by a set of yes.
Yeah, Mary. This is Dirk. I'm not telling we are not in a commodity product. We make toilet paper. 3 billion Asians would not be able to start their day off without using our product. You know what that means? It means, do you think people will ignore their cultural values, their culture on a product that they would use every day?
Okay, whatever.
Maybe even few times a day.
Okay, maybe adaptation. Okay,
No,
let's start.
You can't just follow the strategy that one size fits all. Okay, we require a specific perspective which reflects our core values, the market values, the customer culture. It's as I like to say in our market, to reach the top, you first need to cover the bottom.
Oh, well said. Okay, Mr. Bottoms Up. Let me just give you an overview. Let me continue with the overview of the global strategy. So our consultant came up with a heading for it. It's called the Throne of Excellence Statement. It's pictorially depicted beautifully, as I'll show you in the slide. The whole thing is on a toilet setting. The vision statement is on the cistern, because like water, everything flows down from the vision. So very beautifully thought of. And the vision itself is, let me read it out to you, to be the world leader in toilet rolls and the most trusted bottom caregiver. The key point here is caregiver, because Mr. Bradley believes in caregiving being the heart of what we want to achieve. At the toilet seat level is our mission. And the mission is, please listen to the words very carefully because each word is important. Create a better world by transforming human sanitation one movement at a time. The word movement is very important because it refers to a cultural movement, but also the practical movement that is taking place at the moment. And actually, I have one slide on each of the words. Mr. Bottoms-up, should I get into that level of detail?
I made my point very clearly. It's my market. We take the responsibility. We adapt it locally. Okay. Yeah, we go ahead with that principle.
So
it's a 2-day meeting.
The vision and the mission are global. That is mandated. The strategy is what markets are allowed to adapt. So let me give you the strategy, which comes at the bottom because water flows right down to the toilet bowl. So our strategy is, please listen carefully because every word is important. So the strategy is to create innovative, beautifully designed roles that elevate the bathroom experience, expand into emerging markets, and leverage digital and AI at every turn. So 3 aspects. One is product, one is market, and one is digital.
Yeah. Okay. So, hi, this is Brenda back again. Thanks, Mary. Thanks for a lovely introduction of the corporate, vision and the global statement. It's very well thought of and great work there. Really, some really awesome work. What I would like to not tell the team, we are to take this statement and we kind of break up the room into 3 different groups. One for different geographies. Yeah, one for North Asia, one for ASEAN in South Asia, and one for ANZ.
Hang on there, Brenda. This is bottoms up. I've said this 232 times. We are one region. We want to behave as one. We don't divide by geography. Let's not do that. Instead, let's divide by the 3 strategic pillars that Mary just told us. One is the product, how we leverage technology. The other one is how we enter new markets within Asia. And the third is in how we leverage digital and AI. Let's have 3 teams like that and let them then debate. Then we come together tomorrow and we intellectualize and we bring everything together. And there we have our regional adaptation of the global strategy. I think at this stage, shall we cut and say that we've achieved a reasonable amount of BSing for this project? And maybe we've achieved very little, but we've proved that how companies spend a lot of time.
Paddy, my view is if in 30 minutes of a meeting, we have achieved nothing, it's actually a good meeting. Because many meetings, they start backsliding and start opening issues which are already closed in the earlier meeting.
At least we didn't do that.
Yes.
Let's now cut to the chase and pretend that we've done these 2 days in Bali and then we have come to Kathmandu, spent 2.5 days.
Okay.
And now we are kind of coming to the end of that meeting. Okay, good afternoon, people. It has been a tiring 2.5 days here. It feels like 3.5. Fine-tuning what we started 6 months ago in Bali. And to recap where we are, we said we will start with the global strategy, which to ensure I've got everything right, I've written down here, to create innovative, beautifully designed roles that elevate the bathroom experience, expand into emerging markets, and leverage digital and AI at every turn. So we had 3 teams, one to debate each aspect, each strategic pillar. And then we came back and we, through a lot of brainstorming, which I think took 1.5 days, we came up with 3 statements. And they are, and then I'll ask Brenda how she wants to go forward with these 3 statements. Statement 1, and I'd like to emphasize how it's different from the global strategy. So strategic option 1 is to develop, develop. That's the key word, which is not create. It's to develop elegantly designed roles with innovation so as to enhance the bathroom experience, expand into Asian markets, and harness AI and digital technologies at every opportunity. So that is option 1. Strategic option 2, to word it differently, completely changes the meaning. So you have to debate this very carefully. To create cutting-edge, beautifully crafted roles that transform the bathroom experience, to facilitate expansion into Asian markets. So it's very specific here. We're saying Asian markets. And utilize digital solutions and AI at each touch point or points. Both are part of the statement. Strategic option 3, to thoughtfully build. Okay, so it's not saying create, it's saying thoughtfully build. Innovatively designed roles that elevate the bathroom experience, penetrate Asian markets, and deploy digital capabilities AI at every stage of the said expansion. So Brenda, how should we take this forward?
Yeah, so thanks Dirk for summing up the conclusion. Now I think we need to take stock of where each participant in the room stands on it. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give each of the participants 6 stickers, 2 yellow, 2 blue, 2 black, and 2 yellow, 2 black, 2 blue. That's right. And then the yellow has 10 points, black has 6 points, and the blue has 4 points. Please place the stickers as you deem fit on the strategies based on your preference. Okay, but if you're not allowed to place more than 2.
Stella here.
Yes,
Brenda, it seems rather complicated. Why don't we just vote which one we like? I mean, isn't that a better?
No, so see, Stella, I can see why you're confusing. I can explain it again, but we don't deviate from the method because this was the method. This is time and tested, and we have hired an external consultant who had proposed us we do it this way. This was the same method and process which was followed in the headquarters, and we have got it from them. So I think we just stick to the same process. It's not that difficult as it made it sound. I'm happy to explain it once again. So we, so as I said, each of you place 2 stickers on the option you deem fit. And then we'll see, where the votes tally at the end of the session. I'll do a count, and we do recount. We are observer, we are auditor as well.
So I can put 2 same color stickers on an option I like?
No, you can't do that. You haven't not been following anything I'm telling you. You cannot do that. You have to. Each of these stickers represents your weightage of each of the options. How can you put all the options into one basket? No, that doesn't happen. Okay. All right. So that's how these meetings are usually conducted. There's usually very little logic, or you can't ask the question why. That's the end of kiss of death. So I'll announce cut, and we move to the end of the meeting, and we say the votes, decide the votes. So hi, I'm back in Brenda again. Hi, so we have collected all the votes, and the winner is strategy number 2. Dirk, congratulations.
I always liked that one.
23% vote. So I think that's quite a reasonable margin of a clear margin and a distinct identification with strategy number 2.
That's excellent. So now we have the strategy. To recap, we have the global vision,
yes,
the global mission, and we have a penetrating breakthrough words for the Asian strategy. Now we are really ready to go. But go where? Go to the next step, because these are just the 3 first fundamental building blocks of a whole statement of purpose. So Brenda, what I want us to do now is to develop a whole purpose statement that starts with Asian Throne of Excellence perhaps, but happy to brainstorm that further with you. Has the global vision, the global mission, the strategy for Asia, and then below that, we need our building blocks. I want to have our values, what we stand for, what we don't stand for, what behaviors we tolerate, what behaviors we don't tolerate, what we tolerate on weekends but not on weekdays. You know what I mean?
No.
And then values, and then behaviors, and our culture. We need to define our culture. I want the whole thing on one page. It should be beautiful to look at. It should be a screensaver size. And ideally, I would like it a miniature version on everybody's business card. I want them to carry it in their pockets, close to their hearts and close to their bottoms, because we are in the bottoms business.
Very well said, Dirk. In fact, I completely agree. These mission statements are very key, very important. It should adequately reflect our corporate culture, our corporate ethos, our shareholder values. So I tell you what we're going to do, carry it forward. We're going to actually be inviting quotes from external consulting companies which specializing in this, mission statement definition. They will come in, they will interview each of you, have the key account manager, and get it more in a concise way and do some wordsmithery. Of course, these guys are good at it, and benchmark it against our competitors to make sure our mission statement is better than theirs.
It should be better.
And I think that will
let budget not be a constraint. We can cut some marketing. I mean, these guys spend a lot. I will get you the budget you need.
All right.
This has to be done right.
Yes.
I want it to be something that I can tell the board that we have a strategy and purpose statement that is better than competition. And it's a beauty to behold.
Correct. No, I'll rope in the strategy team, the comms team, the marketing team will set up a working group.
That's a good idea.
We'll have a regular steering committee schedules, and but I'll do that once a customer.
I'll be the sponsor. Okay.
I'll get that project going. Let's call it a project. Shall we call it project bottoms up? It's not to do with your name, but also to reflect the product.
Oh, I think it's a bottoms up, because that's how great things happen.
Right, so again, see, gentlemen, we spent 5 days, including a lot of money, flying around people to basically come up with something that is of dubious value, if at all, and of something which consumed enough resources which could have been better deployed elsewhere.
And while we made fun of it, this is a reality. Companies spend lots of money crafting statements, because unless you actually implement the stuff in that, it's worthless.
But Patty, so now one of the things we promised at the beginning of the episode is we give them tips.
Yes.
So I think one of the tips we offered in the last episode is we said carry water in a bottle.
Yes.
Sip frequently and blink frequently, because otherwise, you can zone out and go to sleep, but not too frequently because you'll be mistaken for a hostage.
That's a very good one. Second one, for these meetings, especially if it's in a new hotel, come early. Even if you have to miss breakfast or curtail breakfast a little bit, there are two reasons for this. You need to find a seat where you are. Your computer is not obvious to everybody. So choose a seat strategically. Second, you need to ensure you have Wi-Fi, you have the password so that you're ready to browse the internet, play games once the meeting starts. You're not going to be in the middle of the meeting struggling for internet.
To that, Patty, important thing is also not to depend on the availability of local Wi-Fi for you to download the games or your apps on which you want to do your crossword puzzles, because it is not always available. So either I said pre-download it before you get on one, or make sure you have roaming and data so that you can make it a hotspot. Exactly. And then you can download the games and the apps of or even Netflix if you're and then watch it.
And linked to that, I like to give you number 4, which is actually seeing number 1 to 3 is how you are entertaining yourself. So one of the things is you should ensure that nobody can see what you're doing, because it doesn't look very nice to be seen playing solitaire. So get a privacy screensaver. Try to get IT to get it for you. Say that on flights, your neighbor is looking at confidential stuff and you don't like that to be seen. But if IT often balks, just invest in it yourself. It'll be worth the money.
One thing I would say, kind of a bit tangent, but linked to that, is practice the active listening pose. Periodically, you should be seen as if you're listening.
Yeah, that's important.
Of course, you shouldn't be actually listening, but you should be seen to active listening. So I know, just lean forward slightly, have a pencil or pen, maybe just chew on it, or maybe just scratch your forehead. It should be, or in fact, you can doodle, because they think you're making note, but you can be actually doodling. It helps you that as well. So you have to have that ability to daydream while giving the impression of thinking deep thoughts.
Very good one. And another one, kind of to relieve the boredom, always get the ability to have strategic bathroom breaks. So for this, first of all, ensure you visit the bathroom during the actual breaks so that you actually don't need to go to the bathroom anytime. Your strategic bathroom break is timed when boredom is reaching a peak. And when you take the bathroom, some pro tips: always carry your phone with you and look worried when you go, look worried when you come back, as if you were attending to an important call.
And I think we should be most remiss if we don't tell them how to use the lifeboat. Patty, lifeboat, when Titanic sank, the people who couldn't swim well couldn't get the lifeboat. So if in the meeting tanks, they should always have a lifeboat. Suddenly someone asks you, so Rahul, what do you think about that? And you realize you have no idea what's happening. So you should have some safety catchphrases.
Yes.
You can say some safety catchphrases. I think that's a good idea. I think let's run it by risk and compliance. They can never be wrong with that.
Can never be wrong.
Before I voice my point, I would like to see what does the team think about that. All of those are your safety catchphrases. When backed in a corner, just yank on the chain and go through the secret door.
I'm going to add one which is kind of linked to that. You reminded me of another phrase which you should learn to practice in different tones. Interesting. Now, this is not necessarily as something to block, but mainly this is a way to criticize something that's really dumb, because it doesn't look very nice to say that sucks, even though that idea may really suck. So what you want to say is, that's interesting, and then go on to criticize it. Okay, next.
If you want to look really smart, always carry a notepad and a pen. They'd still work. And do the furious note-taking exercise.
Yes.
Just open up a page and your hand should keep on moving. It doesn't matter whether you're doodling, you're solving a crossword, you're composing a limerick, you're writing your short story, or you're writing a humor column, which is what I did sometimes. You should be completely seen as writing something extensively.
Very good one.
One advantage of it is, Paddy, it also prevents you from going to sleep. Because it keeps your hand and blood pumping. So, it makes sure you stay awake.
I think we had a lot of fun in the note-taking days. But one aspect of this digital which has made life a little tougher for us in meetings is there are a lot of Zoom meetings. So last tip, I think, let's round it off at number 10, is get a reputation of somebody who encounters technical difficulties often, so that you can get in and out of meetings citing technical issues. So there's some pro tips on how to do it. In the middle of, while you're talking, mute your own mic and keep talking, then unmute it and people will say, what happened? Also, I'm experiencing technical difficulties. Do the same thing with the video. Switch it off, switch it on, toggle. So that one day when you had enough and you want to go and have a genuine break from the meeting, you can turn off the video and come back 10 minutes later and say, sorry guys, technical difficulty, something wrong with this laptop.
I think, Barry, that's a fair list of business scopes that you have given to our audience. And audience, in case you're still listening, let me tell you, it was not easy. You had to come up with all this at the last minute in 5 minutes and come up with this JB Copes just for you. But in case you think there are other JB Copes or other Copes for meetings which you have missed out, you know where to write to, justbusinesspodcast@gmail.com, or please comment in the video.
And give us any other comments, any other funny meetings or funny business situations you've encountered. And we are waiting to hear from you. Thank you.
All right, till then.
Bye-bye.